What's up, people? As you can see from the intro, this is how to shoot part one. We're just going to be looking at the technique of shooting, how to generate more power, things like this. The main thing to improving your shot is to shoot. Okay, if you go out and you try 15, 20 times and you say, oh, my shot's not getting better, that's why. Go for a month, shoot hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of balls, maybe thousands. Work on your technique. When you find that shot that feels good, when it hits the top corner, what made that shot go in the corner as opposed to your neighbor's yard? Okay, did it curve perfectly? What did you do? Did you step right next to the ball as you should, or did you step in front of the ball and shank it? Okay, was the ball stuck at your feet, stuck under you? You couldn't finish, you couldn't get power. Okay, there's so many things to it. And we're just going to take a look at a few finishes I have here, and I'm going to give you some tips, all right? Some simple tips. The way to improve your shot is to shoot. That's the first tip. All right, so this first shot, it's going to go to the far post. I'll let it play through. All right. So first, putting the ball out in front of me. It's not stuck at my feet. Gives me a few steps to generate power. Before I'm striking the ball, there's a bit of an angle to my plant foot. It doesn't have to be exact. I don't have to be pointing right to the corner, but my plant foot aiming a bit to the left, that's the first step to getting the ball to that left corner. Now, when I strike, my hips are also going to kind of wrap around the ball and go over the ball and through it at the same time. Okay, so the weight is going to go on my shooting foot as I strike through the ball, but the first part of getting that ball to the far post is that plant foot having a bit of an angle to it. So I strike through. Now the weight went on my front foot there, and the ball is still traveling there. It didn't hit the net yet, but plant foot is up, shooting foot is down. Where the ball ends up in the corner. So let's let it play one more time. Put the ball in front, plant, strike. Okay, now I'm going to shoot for the near post, and you're going to see a slight difference in my plant foot. Not a huge difference. My plant foot is going to face straight compared to the last shot where it was at a bit of an angle facing to the left. Okay, going for that far post. Now I'm going for the near post. Plant foot's going to be straight. My hips are kind of continuing forward. Still a little bit to the side because you can't just go perfectly straight. That's just an awkward shot. So still a little bit to that left side, but my momentum continues forward. So look, the ball's in front of me. I'm approaching it with 2 to 3 steps. Plant foot next to the ball, aiming for that first post, almost straight on with it. Strike through the ball, land on that shooting foot, and that's how you generate power. Okay, let it play through without any pauses. Now, next one, weak foot. If you want to improve your weak foot, you have to shoot with it. I would say double, maybe triple the amount you shoot with your strong foot. That's how you get real improvement in your weak foot. Hundreds or thousands of shots. All right, you had practice on Tuesday. You scored some nice goals with your strong foot. You shanked a few with your weak foot. All right, you got practice again on Thursday. Only shoot with your weak foot. Give yourself a little test. I'm going for the near post. Planting my foot next to the ball, straight. Okay, almost straight on with that post. Striking through the ball. Where's my momentum going? Forward. Landing on that shooting foot. Plant foot in the air. Ball sneaks into the near post. All right, we'll do it again. Plant. Strike. Back of the onion bag. One more without any pausing. When I say plant foot next to the ball, if you have it a little bit in front of the ball, you're going to muff the shot. If you have it beyond the ball, you're not going to be able to generate power. The ball's going to be stuck under you. Now, if you lean back, that's how you sky the shot. You want to get that feel and work on your finishing over and over again until you just get that natural balance. That's how I'll put it. You have a natural balance, that's when your finishing really starts to improve. If you're leaning too far forward or back, you can feel it or see it in the shot. Okay, the result will not be pretty. If you're balanced, you strike through the ball. Okay, you're not leaning too far forward, too far back, you will see the results. So here, cutting in from outside on the wing onto my weak foot. Same concept, putting the ball in front of me. Give myself 2 to 3 steps to generate power. Plant foot next to the ball. This one I'm going for the far post, so you can see my plant foot will be a bit diagonal, aiming for that far post. So ball's in front of me, plant foot next to the ball, a bit diagonal, striking through the ball, momentum forward, hips wrapping around it because I want to get some bend on it. So put the ball in front, plant foot next to the ball, a bit of an angle to it. Strike through, wrap your hips around the ball, land on that shooting foot. Ball ends up in the corner. One more time. Okay, now here we got the half volley. This one is all about timing. You want to strike through the ball as soon as it hits the ground. So it's obviously better to work on this with someone crossing to you, but this is a great way to work on your technique. You'll see how far the ball is away from me while I start my approach. That's kind of like predicting where the ball is going to land, but also just reading the path of the ball. Okay, and that comes from just repetition, repetition, repetition. So there, as soon as the ball hit the ground, I struck through it. But where does my approach start? There. You could say I'm over 5 yards away from the ball, but I'm already coming towards the ball, even though you could say the ball's coming towards me. Why do I need to go towards it? This is generating power. That forward movement is meeting that ball's forward movement. Okay, think of it that way. I'm not sure the term. I'm not much into the science. I'm sure someone could comment below if I get any comments. Something about physics, momentum, velocity, something along those lines. Whatever it is. I have video proof of it here. And same thing here. I'm planting my foot a little bit farther away because it's in the air. Okay, if you get too close to this, if the ball's bouncing, you'll scuff the shot. It's similar to planting your foot maybe in front of the ball if the ball's on the ground. If you plant your foot too close to the ball during a volley, you won't be able to generate power. There's just not enough space for the proper movement. So it's not just your leg going through the ball, it's your whole body. So think when you shoot, you're not just kicking with your foot or your leg, it's your whole body. Are you leaning back? Are you continuing forward? Are you bringing your momentum forward and landing on that shooting foot? Okay, where is your weight going? Where is your weight distributed after you strike the ball and before? It all matters. So here I strike through the ball and I turn my hips through it, wrap my hips around it, but also continue forward. Even if I go to the left after, okay, you don't have to go straight forward, but it's just putting forward momentum through the ball as you strike it. So you can see here one more time. All right. Now here, I'm just turning and striking. All right, I was working on a few different scenarios here. It's another tip. If you're going to work on shooting, don't just go and shoot from, straight on from the 18, shoot 100 balls that way. Cut in from the outside, both sides. Bring the ball down and shoot. Dribble at speed on your weak foot and finish with your weak foot. Work on cutting in from both sides and then faking a shot and then shooting on the other foot. Think of game realistic movements. So I always try to work on that whenever I'm training alone. Picture some game-like scenarios in your head and apply it to your training. All right? Have some imagination. SpongeBob said it best.
Imagination.
So with this one here, I'm turning and finishing with my back to goal. I go for the near post here. So my plant foot is going to aim for that post again. My momentum's going to continue forward, and I'm going to land on that shooting foot. Once again, I know I'm repeating myself, but look, I'm shooting from all different angles here, and it's pretty much the same technique each time, just a slight adjustment. Different angles call for different techniques, but they're not too different from each other. Okay, it's just leaning one way or putting the ball farther in front or at a bit of an angle rather than straight out in front. Another thing I haven't mentioned yet that applies to every shot is having your foot firm. I like to use the analogy of a wooden club. Try to make your foot like a club. So when you strike, you don't want your toe coming upwards. You want to really point your toe down and keep it flexed as you strike through the ball. It's all the same concept, it's just a slightly different angle. Different angles call for different techniques, but those techniques are not so different from each other. So there, I put the ball out in front. Now where's my plant foot? Pointing straight for that near post. When I strike through it, I land on my shooting foot. Okay, and where does that ball go? And off that near post. Okay, so plant the foot, aiming for that near post. Look where my toes pointing, down. When I shoot through it, still toes pointing down. Momentum goes forward, land on that shooting foot, plant foot in the air. Ball goes in. One more time. Now here we got the near post finish. High to the near post. We saw it the other day in the World Cup.
Joao Felix. And Ramos thundered that in!
He had a little bit of space in the box. Struck it near post, high to that near post, and what did the keeper do? He just watched it go in. So you can see again, I put it out in front. I have a few steps. Plant that foot next to the ball, strike through it, land on the shooting foot. Played a few times. One more time, I'll pause it. There, put it out in front, but I'm already winding up for the shot. Plant, toe is down, ankles locked, giving a good surface to hit through that ball. Striking through it, land on the shooting foot. Ball goes high to near post. So keepers hate this high to near post finish. It's tough to get to, unpredictable, and it gives them less time to dive. Think about it. You're shooting at the closer option of the goal. They have less time to get to it. And if it's a good strike, they really can't get to it. You're just shooting at the closer target, the closer quadrant of the goal is what we'll call it. You go back to the beginning, each shot was different, but the techniques were not much different. Plant that foot next to the ball. Strike through it. Bring your momentum forward. Land on that shooting foot. Point your toe down. Make your foot like a club, so when you strike through that ball, there's some conviction to it. All right, no floppy foot. Don't bring your toe upwards when you strike through the ball. If you're going to volley it, you better time it right. No matter the angle, if you can put that ball a little bit in front of you, you can generate power. Keepers hate that high to near post. So, that's how to shoot part 1. Do you have any more questions? You got some requests for part 2. I didn't answer your questions in part 1. Leave a comment below. If this helped you, please subscribe. Helps the channel. I'm trying to grow a community, a network of players that are just trying to improve. I've actually just started a Discord that I'm putting free session plans, football-specific workouts for players of all ages, for coaches that need help with their trainings, for parents that want to elevate their children's game a little bit and just help them in a positive way. You can join this Discord. Please subscribe, like the video, leave a comment below, and stay tuned for more. And remember, work hard, play hard, and play free.